Siva Siva.
Now, let us go to section 2 in chapter 1. Anyat Shreyah, Anyat Uthaiva, Preyah, Te, Ubhe Nanarthe Purusham Sinitaha, Tayoh Shreya Adha Dhanasya Sadhur Bhavati, Hiyate Arthadhya U Preyo Vrinite. Anyat, one, Shreyah, good. Anyat, another. Uthaiva, indeed. Preyah, pleasant. Te, these. Ubhe, two. Nana, difference. Different, various. Arthe, objectives. Meanings. Purusham, man. Sinitaha, chains, binds. Tayoho, of them. Shreyah, good. Ada Danasya, who chooses. Sadhuhu, good, blessed. Bhavati, becomes. Hiyate, gets deviated. Arthat, from true end. Yah, he, who. Preyah, pleasure. Vrinite, chooses. The exact translation is, Yama says, one is good while another is pleasant. These two having different objects chain a man, bind a man. Blessed is he who between them chooses the good alone, but he who chooses what is pleasant loses the true end. So the explanation is, there are two things. One is good, one is pleasant. A man is blessed if he chooses what is good, but he gets deviated if he chooses what is pleasant. That means he goes into another path. He goes into a path of worldly objects. And these are the two different objects which chain a man. The pleasant one and the good one. We shall go to the next verse. Shreyascha Preyascha Manushya Stau Samparitya Vivinakti Dhiraha Shreyo hi Dhiro abhi Preyaso Vrinite Preyo Mando Yogatshemad Vrinite. Shreyah, good. Cha, and. Preyah, pleasure. Cha, also. Manushyam, the man. Etaha, approach. Tau, them, two. In Sanskrit, tau means two, for dual. Them. Samparitya, having examined. Vivinati, distinguishes, differentiates. Dhiraha, the wise man. Shreyo hi, the good only. Dhiro, the wise man. Abhi, than. Preyaso, to the pleasurable. Vrinite, chooses. Preyaha, pleasure. Mando, the ignorant. Yogatshemad, by awareness and attachment. Vrinite, chooses. I'll give you the exact translation, which is, Yama says now, both the good and the pleasant approach the mortal. The intelligent man examines and distinguishes them, for the intelligent man prefers the good to the pleasant. The ignorant man chooses for getting and keeping the pleasant for the sake of the body. The explanation is both are available to mankind, the good one and the pleasant one. The intelligent man chooses the good one so that he does not want to be created again, born again, like whether a Higgs boson or whether like a uranium-235. He doesn't want to be born again, decay, die, change the quantum state, undergo the transition periods. He chooses only the good one, whereas the ignorant man chooses the pleasant one, because for the sake of his body, to enjoy the bodily pleasures. So Emma starts explaining from here on. The next verse. Sa tvam priyam priya rupamscha kamam abidhyayan nachiketo tyasrakshihi naitam srinkam vitta mayi mavapto yasyam majjanti bahavo manushyaha. Sa tvam, such as you are, priyang, desirable, priya rupamscha, cha means and, priya rupamscha, and pleasant to appearance, and kaman, desires, abidhyayan, judging them, nachiketo, O Nachiketa, adya srakshihi, you have renounced, etam, these, srinkam, chains, vitta mayi, road of wealth. Vitta means wealth, finance. Vitta mayi, road of wealth. Na avaptaha, you, one who has not accepted. Yasyam, in which, majjanti, drowns, bahavo, many, manushyaha, men, humanity. The exact translation is, Yama continues, O Nachiketa, thou hast renounced desires and desirable objects of sweet shapes, judging them by their real merits. Thou hast not accepted this road of wealth in which many mortals sink. The explanation is, even in the earlier section we saw, Emma offered him lots of things, from wealth to chariots, everything he accepted, chains. Finally he gives him a golden chain also, a chain with full of ornaments. Nachiketa refuses, he wants only the boon to teaching. So again, Yama explains to him that you have refused everything. There is a pleasant one, there is a good one. There are two different objects for humanity. You have refused to accept what are things that are pleasant for the sake of your body, the physical body. Yama once again re-emphasizes in this verse. Now let's go to next verse, which is verse number 4 in section 2, chapter 1. Duramete viparite vishuchi avidya ya cha vidyate jnata. Vidya bhi sitham nachiketasam manye na tva kama bahavo alolupanta. Duram, far. Yete, these are. Viparite, opposite. Vishuddhi, having different courses. Avidya, vidya, avidya, ignorance. Ya, which, cha, and vidya iti, as knowledge. Jnata is known. Vidya bhi sitham, vidya bhi sitham, desirous of knowledge. Nachiketasam, Nachiketas, manye, I believe. Na, not. Tva, you. Kamah, desires. Bahavaha, many. Alolu panta, tempted. The exact translation is, these two, ignorance and knowledge, are wide apart and lead to different points or goals. I believe Nachiketas to be one who desires for knowledge, for even many desires have not shaken thee, shaken you. That means Yama once again emphasizes, you Nachiketas, there are two, ignorance and knowledge. There are two. One he says, the good one and the pleasant one. Now ignorance and knowledge. That means Nachiketas, you want only knowledge, you do not want ignorance, and you have refused to accept all other material things which I offer. So let's go to the next verse. Avidyayam antare vartamanaha swayam dhiraha panditam manyamanaha dandravyamanaha pariyanti moodaha andhena eva niyamanaha yatha andhaha niyamana yatha andhaha. Now, avidyayam, vidyayam, avidyayam, in ignorance, antare, in the midst, in the middle, vartamanaha, who lives. Vartamana means present. Here, vartamanaha means persons who live in the present, who lives. Swayam, themselves. Dhiraha, wise. Panditam, learned ones. Manya manaha, fancying themselves, thinking about themselves. Dandramya manaha, deluded in many crooked ways. Pariyanti, go around. Moodaha, the ignorant. Andhena, andhena, by the blind. Eva, verily. Niya manaha, being led. Yatha, how. Andhaha, the blind people. The exact translation is, the ignorant who live in the midst, in the middle of darkness, but fancy themselves to be wise and learned, go around deluded in many crooked ways, as the blind that are being led by the blind. So Emma is again saying, it's very simple. The ignorant persons live in the midst of darkness, but think too much about themselves, fancy themselves as if they are the wisest, and they go around in their own ways, in their own crooked ways, as if the blind led by the blind. That's a very common saying. Now we can go to the next verse. Na samparayah pratibhati balam pramadhyantam vitta mohena moodham ayam loko nasti para iti mani punaha punarvasa mapadyate me. So Yama still continues. Na, not. Samparayah, hereafter. way to hereafter. Pratibhati is apparent. Balam to the childish. Pramadhyantam ignorant. Vitta mohena. Vitta means wealth. By the mohena glamour. By the glamour of wealth. Moodham deluded. Ayam this. Lokaha world. Nasti there is no. Paraha other. Iti thus. Mani thinker. Punaha punaha again and again. Vasam control. Apadyate attains. May my. The way to the hereafter is not apparent to the ignorant man who is childish, befooled by the glamour of wealth. This is the world, he thinks. There is no other world. Thus, he falls again and again under my sway. Beautiful. The ignorant man, explanation is the ignorant man thinks this is the world. And the only way to the life of this world is wealth. I have to achieve wealth. And that is the only way. When such ignorant man think about all these things, definitely he will not go to heaven, where I am not there. He will come under my sway, under my control, born again and again, and doing for his karma, paying for his karma. He will not be that photon. He will not know that fire which leads to heaven. That is what Yama means here. He comes under my control for the ignorant man who thinks that the road to this life is only wealth, the glamour of wealth. We'll go to the next verse. Yama continues even in verse 7, section 2 of chapter 1. Shravanaya api bahubihi yaha na labhyaha shrunvantah api bahavo yam na vidyuhu ashraryo vakta kushalo asya labhya ashraryo jnatha kushalanu sishtaha. Shravanaya to hear, api even, bahubihi for many, yaha that which, na labhyaha not available, shrunvantaha those who hear, shrunvantaha those who hear, api even, bahavaha many, yam who, na not, vidyuhu have known, ashraryo wonderful. Ascharyam is wonderful. Those things that are wonderful. Ascharyo. Vakta who tells. From the word vaktum to tell. Vakta. Kushalaha proficient. Kushalahadmi they would say. Kushalaha proficient. Asya to this. Labdaha. Ascharyo. Labdaha means getting. Ascharyo wonderful things. Jnata who comprehends. Jnata who analyzes. Kushalanu sishtaha taught by a proficient preceptor, by a proficient teacher. The exact translation is he means here the self, he of whom many are not able even to hear, whom many even when they hear of him, the self, the Atma, do not comprehend. Wonderful is a man when found who is able to teach the self. Wonderful is he who comprehends the self when taught by an able teacher. Simple, the explanation is, many do not know that he exists. He means the self. Many cannot comprehend him. Therefore, a person is wonderful if he is able to comprehend him, if he is able to realize him, and that too if he is able when taught by a able teacher. If he is able to comprehend the self when taught by a able teacher, he is a wonderful person. Therefore, the idea is, Yama continues, when found, the self is magnanimous, ebullient. So wonderful is a person who becomes to such heights. That's what Yama means here. That's the explanation. We'll go to verse 8 in section 2, chapter 1. Na narena avarena prokta esha suvijnayo bahudha chintaya manaha ananya prokte gatiratra nasti aniyam hya atharkyam anupramanat. Na, not narena, by the man, avarena, wish, which is inferior wish, inferior intellect, prokta, instructed, esha, this, suvijneyah, easy to be known, bahudha, in various ways, chintya manaha, to be thought of, chintya manaha, ananyah, not by another, prokte, when taught, when given the teaching, when taught, gatihi, goal, atra, here, nasti, there is no, aniyan, subtle, less than an atom, aniyan, he, atharkyam, verily not to be argued, tarkyam, atharkyam, not to be argued, against argument, anupramanat, anu is atom, anupramanat, than the subtler atom. So let us see the exact translation. That self, when taught, given teaching, taught by a man of inferior intellect, is not easy to be known, as it is to be thought of in various ways. But when it is taught by a preceptor who is one with Brahman, there is no doubt concerning it. The self being subtler than the subtle and is not to be obtained by arguing. The self, Yama says, explanation is the self is one, which Yama says, is not easy to understand when taught by an ignorant person. It has to be taught by a preceptor who is already with the self. It is not learned by arguing methods. You cannot argue about the self. You have to learn it from a preceptor who is himself immersed with the self. So there is a process of learning the self. That is the explanation. It is not easy to obtain as you think. We will go to the next verse, verse number 9. Naisha tarkena matira paneya proktanyena sujnanaya preshta yam tvamapaha satya dhritir batasi twadrink no bhuyan nachiketah prashta. Na esha, not this, tarkena, by argument, matihi, knowledge, apaniya, to be obtained, prokta, said or taught, given the teaching, anyena eva, by another, sujnanaya, for easy comprehension, understanding, preshta, dear one, yam, that, tvam, you, apaha, have obtained, sadya dhritihi, fixed in truth, batasi, you are, batasi. Dvatrik, dvatrig, like you, no to us. Bhuyat, may he be. Nachiketah, oh Nachiketa, prashta, the enquiries. Yama continues. The exact translation is, this knowledge is not to be obtained by argument, but it is easy to understand it, O dearest, when taught by a teacher who beholds no difference. Thou hast obtained it now, thou art fixed in truth. May we have, O Nachiketa, an enquirer like thee. So Emma is happy. The explanation is, Emma is happy. This knowledge, again repeats, cannot be obtained by argument, but it is easy to understand when taught by a teacher who is already immersed in self. No teaching methods, but it is a different from oral conversational methods, by argument methods. It is a process, a different process, and has to be taught by a teacher who is already immersed in self. And Yama, thou, says, thou, Nachiketa, he points to Nachiketa, thou, you have obtained it because you are fixed in truth, you are eager to learn. May we have, O Nachiketa, enquirers like you. It means, I want people like you, I want students like you only, who is not tempted by any road to wealth, a genuine learner. Then we will go to the next verse. Janami sevadhir iti anityam nahi adhruvaihi prapyate. Hi dhruvam tat tatah maya Nachiketah chito agnir anyatyaihi dravyaihi aptavan asmi nityam. I will translate, decipher first. Janami, I know. Janamyaham. So janami, aham means I. Janami sevadihi, treasure. Results of karma obtained by karma, treasure, iti as anityam, transient, temporary, nityam, anityam, one that is in a transitory stage. Anityam, temporary, nahi, not, adhruvaihi. Adhruvaihi means dhruvaihi, adhruvaihi, by non-eternal, prapyate, to be obtained. Hi dhruvam, eternal, tat, that, tatah, yet, maya, by me, Nachiketah, O Nachiketa, chito, propitiated, satisfied, agnihi, fire, anyatyaihi, anityaihi, nityaihi. Anityaihi means not permanent, not perishable. Here. Dravyaihi, things. Aptavan asmi. Aptavan. It comes from the word praptavan. I got. Prapnoti. So aptavan asmi. I have obtained. Nityam. Nityam means daily here, eternal, permanent. The exact translation is, know, Emma continues, know that the treasure is transient, temporary, passing phase. Know that the treasure is transient, for that which is eternal is not obtained by things which are not eternal. Therefore, Nachiketa's fire has been propitiated by me with the perishable things, and I have obtained the eternal. See, Lord Yama here, explanation is, he here tells Nachiketa that I have obtained this state through the Nachiketa fire by offering perishable things. So probably in the Nachiketa fire, you have to offer a perishable thing. That is, you have to be an ordinary person, an ordinary atom, an ordinary element, and then you have to understand that process of that fire which leads to eternal life, like a photon. Probably he means that. I have obtained this status after the Nachiketa fire. So any treasure you know, that is your karmas, whatever it is you have obtained, wealth, is only transient. Because there are things which are eternal, which can be obtained only by eternal way. An eternal state cannot be obtained with non-eternal things. Therefore, Lord Yama probably feels that even the Nachiketa fire, he has to use perishable things. He used perishable things in the fire, and then after some time only, he has, being a perishable man by himself, he has obtained this eternal status. So probably he admits his own mistake earlier by using perishable things, and then afterwards he has become in this state through a Nachiketa fire. So in substance, by using perishable things, you cannot attain eternal life. That's what Lord Yama tells Nachiketa. Let us go to verse number 11. Kamasya aptim jagadaha pratishtam ruto anantyam rutoho anantyam abhayasya param stoma mahat urugayam pratishtam drishtva dhritya dhiraha nachiketo atya srakshihi. Kamasya, to the desires, aptim, fulfillment, jagadaha, of the world, pratishtam, foundation, ritoho, of the sacrifices, anantyam, endless, anantyam, endless, antaha means end, anantyam, endless, here it means rewards, endless rewards, anantyam, abhayasya, bhayaha abhayasya, of fearlessness, param, other show, stoma, praiseworthy, mahat, great, urugayam, wide extended sphere, pradishtam, abode of the soul, drishtva, having seen, dhritya, with firm resolve, dhiraha, the wise men, nachiketo, O Nachiketas, atya srakshihi, you have rejected. The exact translation: the end of all desires, the foundation of the world, the endless rewards of sacrifice, the other shore where there is no fear, the praiseworthy, the great, and the wide extended sphere, and the abode of the soul, all these, though are seen, and being wise, O Nachiketa, thou has with firm resolve rejected them all. Again Yama goes on, he says, the end of all desires, which is the foundation of the world, the endless rewards of sacrifice, the other shore where there is no fear, the praiseworthy, the greatest, the wide extended sphere, all these are seen. Being wise, Nachiketa, you have with firm resolve rejected them all. You wanted only to know the abode of the soul. Even that you may reject, but you are so wise, dhiraha, that you have rejected all these manly, worldly, manly human pleasures. So Yama goes on, he continues. Now let's go to the word number 12. Tam durdarsham guda manupravishtam guhahidam gahvareshtam puranam adhyatma yoga adhigamena devam matva dhiro harsha shokho jahati. Now Yama explains about the soul, what it is. Tam, him, durdarsham, difficult to see. Guda manupravishtam, inaccessibly located. Guha hidam, hidden in the cavity of a guha, cave. Gahvareshtam, dwells in the abyss, deep valleys between two cliffs, deep valleys. Puranam, ancient. Adhyatma yoga adhigamena, by authority, by means of meditation of Adhyatma yoga. Adhya Atma yoga, daily Atma yoga on self. Atma means self. Devam, the Lord. Matva, having recognized. Matva, dhiraha, the wise man. Harsha shokau, joys and sorrows. Harsha means joys. Shoka means sorrow. Harsha shokau, duality in Sanskrit grammar. Shokau, the sorrows, both joy and sorrow. Jahati, renounces, crosses, renounces. The exact translation is, the wise sage who by means of meditation on self, Adhyatma yoga, who by meditation on his self recognizes the ancient, Puranam, ancient, who is difficult to be seen. Durdarsham is it, who is difficult to be seen, who is hidden in the cave of the heart. Later on we will know it is the heart. Who dwells in the abyss, who is lodged in the intelligence and seated amidst miserable surroundings. Indeed, he renounces joy and sorrow. That is, the wise meditate on the self, they renounce joy, they renounce sorrow, both. Who is that self? He is one difficult to be located, he is deep inside a valley between two cliffs, he cannot be seen, he is very, very old, it is difficult to see, and only by Adhyatma yoga adhigena, by authority, by means of meditation on self, the wise can see him. That is the explanation. We shall go to verse number 13 in section 2, chapter 1. Edat shrutva samparigrihya martyah pravrihya dharmamyam anumetam apya sa modate modaniyam hi labdva vivrittam sadma nachiketasam manye. Etat, this, shrutva, having heard, samparigrihya, grasping well, matyaihi, the mortal, pravrihya, abstracting, discriminating, dharmyah, virtuous, one who does dharmyah, anum, subtle, etam, this, apya, attaining, sahahi, modate, rejoices, modaniyam, he, that which causes joy, labdva, having obtained, vivritam, wide open, sadma, house, nachiketasam, to Nachiketa, manye, I think. So Yama continues, having heard and well grasped this, that is the self. This means here the self, the mortal abstracting the virtuous Atman, abstracting abstracting the virtuous Atman and attaining this subtle self. Self is the intangible spirit. Rejoices because he has obtained that which is the cause for all rejoicing. I think that the abode of Brahman is wide open for Nachiketas. So if you have realized this, you have attained this self-subtle spirit, you have attained the abode of Brahman. It is wide open for you because you rejoice when you obtain this self-knowledge, when you merge yourself with the self. If you have heard well and if you have well grasped the meaning. That's what Yama again explains to Nachiketa about the self. Let us go to the next verse. Anyatra dharmat, anyatra adharmat, anyatra tasmat krita kritat, anyatra bhudha bhavyascha yath tat pashyasi tat vada. Tat vada. Anyatra dharmat, other than virtue, anyatra, other than, adharmat, other than vices, anyatra, other than, asmat, this, krita, effect, akrita, cause, anyatra, other than, bhudacha, the past, bhavyatcha, future, yad, which, tat, that, pashyasi, you see, tad, that, vada, explain. The exact translation is, now Nachiketa is asking, Nachiketa asks, that which you see as other than virtue and vice, vice here means non-virtuous things, bad things, vice, as right and unright, as other than cause and effect, as other than the past and future, tell me that. The explanation here is, Nachiketa is asking Yama, okay, please tell me what you see, that is, other than virtue, other than non-virtue, other than virtue and other than bad things. Other than virtue here means bad things, other than bad thing means good things. As right things, as unright things, wrong things, other than the cause and the effect, other than the past and the future, whatever you see, please tell me. Now let us go to the verse number 15 in this section. So Yama says, Sarve Veda Yat Padam Amananti Tapamsi Sarvani Cha Yad Vadanti Yadi Ichanto Brahmacharyam Charanti Tat Te Padam Sangrahena Brevimi Om Ityetat. Om. Yama now tells the secret of Om. Exact translation is, the goal which all the Vedas speak of, praise, which all penances proclaim, and wishing for which they lead the life of Brahmacharin. That goal word I will briefly tell thee, you. It is Om. So, Yama now gives the foothold for meditation. That is, he now spells about the word Om. He probably will be asking to meditate on the word Om, which leads to self. So, Om is a very important Sanskrit word quoted by most of the Upanishads. And Yama now teaches Nachiketa that which all the Vedas speak of, that which severe penances proclaim, that which leads to the life of a Brahmacharin, that is Brahmacharin celibate life, and that I will tell you is Om. That is the sacred word in Hindu philosophy. So Yama teaches Om. Now let us go to the next verse 16. Edat hi eva aksharam brahma, edat hi eva aksharam param, एतत् हि एव अक्षरं ज्ञात्वा यो यद् इच्छति तस्य तद्. Edat, this eva, only aksharam, immortal. Here means immortal. Aksharam can also mean a word, but immortal. Brahma, Brahman, he, and etat, this eva, verily, yes, verily. Aksharam, immortal. Param, highest. Etat, this eva, verily. Aksharam, immortal. Nyatva, having known. Yah, who, yat, which, ichchati, desires. Tasya, to him, tat, that. At least he gets that. The exact translation is, this word is definitely, verily Brahman. This word is verily the highest. He who knows this word obtains verily whatever he desires. He who knows this word verily obtains whatever he desires. So Emma explains, this is the word Om. This is the word that is Brahma, Brahman. This will take you to Brahman. This is the highest word. There is no word beyond this. There is nothing beyond this. And he who knows this word verily obtains what he wants. So a person meditating on the word Om obtains the desires, obtains the Atma, be one with the Atma, realizes the self, realizes the Atma. So probably or definitely Yama is very clear that meditating on Om gives the self-realization, the Purusha, which is situated in the cavity of the heart, who is difficult to see, who is very old, who is deep inside an abyss. He can be seen. He can be seen, and you can go to the world of heaven and rejoice without any birth or death. This is what Yama means, the word Om. Let us go to the chapter, verse 7 in chapter 1. Etat alambanam sreshtam, etat alambanam param, etat alambanam yatva brahmaloke mahiyate. Very beautiful. Etat, this, alambanam, support. Sreshtam, glorious. Etat, this, alambanam, support. Param, supreme. Etat, this, alambanam, support. Nyatva, having known. Brahmaloke, in the world of Brahman. Mahiyate, he becomes adored. Mahiyate, he becomes a mahat. He becomes a great man. Mahiyate. The exact translation is, most glorious is this support. This is the supreme-most support. He who has realized this support comes to revel in the Brahma world. He gets, the explanation is, the person who knows this support, this is the support, the Om, this is the support, Alambanam, support. Person who knows this becomes adored even in the Brahma world. The loka of, in the world of Brahma, he becomes adored also. This is the supreme most. We'll go to the next verse, 18, in section 2. Na jayate mriyate va vipaschit, nayam kutaschinna bhabhuva kaschit, ajo nityah, shashvatho ayam purano, na hanyate hanyamane sharire. It is there in Gita also, chapter 2. Na, not, jayate, born, mriyate, dies, va, or, vipaschit, the intelligent self, na, not, ayam, he, this Atma, kutaschit, na, from anything elsewhere, na, from anything elsewhere, na, not, babhuva, came into being, bhavati, bhavishyati, abhavat, all Sanskrit words, to become, came into being, kaschit, anything, ajaha, unborn, nityaha, nityam, eternal, permanent, shashvataha, everlasting, nityaha, shashvataha, ayam, he, puranaha, ancient, na, not, hanyate, slain, hanyamane, being slain, Sharire, the body. The exact translation. The intelligent Atman is not born, nor does he die. He did not spring from anything, and nothing sprang from him. Unborn, eternal, everlasting, ancient, he is not slain, although the body is slain. Beautiful. The explanation is, he is unborn, he is everlasting. He did not spring from something. And actually, nothing sprang from him, Yama says. He was not the creator, he says. Nothing sprang from him and he did not create anything. Eternal and everlasting. He is ancient. He is not slain. You cannot kill him, though the body is slain. Even Buddha was very much influenced by him. There is a state of unborn, uncreated, unmanifested. If there is no such state of unborn, uncreated, unmanifested, there is no escape for the born, the created, the manifested, Buddha says. So there is a state of the unborn. He is unborn, he is everlasting. Nothing was created by him, nothing sprang from him, and he also did not spring from anything. So nothing created him. A beautiful words by Yama to describe about the Atman. We will go to verse number 19. Hanta chet manyate hantum, hathas chet manyate hatam, ubhau tau na vijanito nayam hanti na hanyate. The last two lines also comes from Gita also. Same quotations are there. Hanta, the slayer, chet, if. In Sanskrit, chet is a purpose if. No chet, if not. Chet, if. Manyate, thinks. Hantum, that he slays. Hataha, the slain. Chet, if. Manyate, thinks. Hatam, killed. Ubhau, both. Dual ubhau. Tau, they, two. Tau. Saha, tau, te. In Sanskrit, tau means they too. Na, not. Vijanitaha, know well. Nayam, this does not. Hanti, slay. Na, not. Hanyate, is slain. The exact translation is, if the slayer thinks I slay, and if the slain thinks I am slain, I am killed, then both of them do not know well. This slays not, nor is this slain. The explanation is, this does not slay anybody, kill anybody, slay. Nor it can be slain, it cannot be killed. So if they think that I am slain or I am going to slay, then sorry, both of them, ubhau, both of them, tau, they do not know well. That's what Yama says. Yama now continues, verse 20. Anor aniyan mahato mahiya, mahiyan atma asya jantoh nihitah guhayam tam atratuhu pashyati vita shokah dhatuhu prasadat mahimanam atmanah. Anoho, anu means atom, anoho, of the subtle, aniyan, subtlest, of the subtle, subtlest, mahato, of the gross, mahato, mahiyan, grossest, atma, the atman, asya, its, jantoho, living beings, nihitah, seated, guhayam, in the cavity, tam, him, atraktuhu, akratuhu, akratuhu, desireless, kratuhu, akratuhu, desireless, pashyati, realizes, vita shokah, free from sorrow, dhatuhu, senses and mind, dhatuhu, senses, prasadad, grace, mahimanam, majesty, atmanah, of the self. The exact translation. The Atman, subtler than the subtle, greater than the great, is seated in the cavity of each being. That is, in the heart of each being. He who is free from willing and wishing, with his mind and the senses composed, beholds the majesty of the self and becomes free from sorrow. The explanation is the Atma is subtler than the self. It is smaller than the atom, smaller than the Higgs boson. It's smaller than that, smaller than the smallest, greater than the greatest, greater than the greatest. He is free from willing and wishing. He is free from willing and wishing, with his mind and senses composed. So he has to have his senses and mind composed, free from desires, free from willing and wishing, with his senses composed, beholds the majesty of the self and gets freed from sorrow. So one has to be free from desires, one has to have a mind and the senses composed, then he beholds the majesty of self. So that is the explanation. Let us go to next verse, verse number 21. Asino duram vrajati, shayano yati sarvatah, kastam madamadam devam, madanyo nyatum arhati. Asinah, sitting, asanam, asinah, sitting, duram, far, vrajati, goes, shayanah, lying, yati, goes, sarvatah, everywhere, kaha, who, tam, him, madamadam, who rejoices and rejoices not, madamadam, devam, the God, madanyo, other than myself, nyatum, to know, harhati, is able, is fit. Arhati, harhati, fit. The explanation, that in translation, sitting he goes far, lying he goes everywhere. Who else, therefore, save myself, is able to comprehend the God who rejoices and rejoices not. That is, the explanation is, if you sit, even in the posture of sitting, he goes everywhere. And even if you lie and sleep, he goes everywhere. So who else, therefore myself, is able to comprehend the God? Who is that God who rejoices and who rejoices not? He has no pleasure, he has no sorrow. Who has self, myself? Unless you meditate on the self, yourself, you, the person, who else can realize the God? The person who rejoices and rejoices not. And the self goes everywhere. Sarvatra, he goes sarvatah. He goes, and let us go to verse 22. Ashariram, sharireshva, anavasteshva, avastitham, mahantam, vibhum, atmanam, matva dhirah, matva dhiro na sochati, shochati, shochati. Ashariram, without sharira, bodiless. Ashariram, sarireshu, in the bodies. Anavastheshu, vasteshu, vasteshu, anavasteshu, perishable. Vastu is things generally in Sanskrit. Anavasteshu, perishable, in the perishable. Avasthitham, seated. Mahantam, the great. Vibhum, all pervading. Matva, having realized. Dhiraha, the wise man. Na, not. So chati. So chati means grief. Grieves. He doesn't grieve. He doesn't feel the sorrow. The exact translation: the wise man who knows the Atman as bodiless seated firmly in perishable bodies, great and all-pervading, does not grieve. So explanation is, the wise man knows that the Atman is seated in the perishable bodies, but he knows the Atman as bodiless. The Atman, though seated in perishable bodies, is bodiless by himself. And the wise man, knowing the Atman, grieves no more. Let us go to the next verse, 23. Na ayam atma pravachanena labhya. Na ayam atma pravachanena labhya. Na medhaya na bahuna shrutena. Yam eva esha vrunute labhyas. Tasya esha atma vivrunute tanum swam. Vivrunute tanum swam. So, let us go to the deciphered meaning. Na, not, I am, this, Atma, Atman, pravachanena. Pravachanam means sambhashanam, pravachanam, discourses. Here it means study of Vedas. Pravachanena, labhyaha, be attained. Na medhaya, medhaya, intelligence. Na medhaya, not by intelligence. Na, nor. Bahuna, much. Shrutena, by hearing. Yam, whom. Eva, alone. Esha, this. Vrnute, vrnute, chooses. Tena, by him. Labhyaha, is attained. Tasya, his. Esha, this. Atma, Atman. Vivrunute, vivrunute, reveals. Tanum, true nature. Swam, its own. Swam. Swayam, swam, its own. Swayam means by our own. Swayam, its own. Swam. The exact translation, this Atman cannot be attained by study of Vedas, by study of Pravachanam, by learning Pravachanam, by study of Vedas, nor by intelligence, nor by much hearing. It is gained by him who chooses it alone. To him, this Atman reveals its true nature. The explanation is, Yama wants to emphasize, just by learning on the Vedas, Vedas is a way to reach the Atma, but simply just studying and doing pravachanam, discourses, may not lead you to that Atma. Vedas help, it is a support for you to realize the Atma. Just like your parents have helped you in your education, in bringing up you, but always you cannot rely on your parents for everything in your daily life. For everything, you have to stand on your own legs. That's what Yama means. So you have to choose, you have to meditate that path. You have to go on the path of meditation too. With the support of all Vedas, learned people, skills, by prayers or whatever it is, you have to choose. Only if you choose that self-realization meditation, you will reach the Atma. Wherein, if you reach the Atma, you will grieve no more. If you reach the Atma and merge yourself with that Purusha, you will grieve no more. That's what Yama says. Now let's go into the next verse, number 24. Na virato duscharitan, na virato duscharitan, na shanto na samahitaha, na shanto manaso vapi, na shanto manaso vapi, prajnanena yenam apnuyat. Prajnanena yenam. Yenam means this. Yenam apnuyat, the self. Na, not. Avrito, avirato means who has not turned away. Avirato, turned away. One who has not turned away. Duscharitat, bad contact. Duscharitat, bad contact. Na, not. Ashantaha, shantaha, ashantaha, not pacified, not calm, highly emotional. Ashantaha, na, nor. Asamahitaha, whose mind is not concentrated. Asamahitaha, samahitaha means concentration. Asamahitaha, not concentrated. It comes from the word samadhi. One is calm. Asamahitah, whose mind is not concentrated, nor ashantaha manasah. Ashanta manasah, men whose mind is not tranquil, va or api also, prajnanena, by knowledge, enam, this Atman, apnuyat, can obtain. The exact translation. But he who has not turned away from bad conduct, whose senses are not subdued, whose mind is not concentrated, whose mind is not pacified, can never obtain this Atma by knowledge. Explanation is, simply by having knowledge, you cannot obtain the Atma. If you do not turn yourself away from bad contact, if you do not have a calm mind, if you are not concentrated, if your mind is not concentrated but dissipated, if you are not pacified, you are emotional, sensitive, you can never obtain this Atma only because you have studied, you have knowledge. They are all support. Knowledge is a support to have a calm mind. Knowledge teaches you, be calm, do not get angry for silly things. They teach you. But you have to control it. You have to have you cure it. Your anger has to be cured. Simply by studying various books, you cannot claim that you have this knowledge of Atma. Neither will Atma be realized by you. You cannot. It's impossible, says Yama. Next, let us go to verse number 25, which is the last verse in section 2. Yasya brahma cha kshatram cha ubhe bhavata odanaha mrityur mrityuhu yasya upasechanam kaha ittha veda yatra saha. Yasya, to whom, Brahma, Brahmanaha, cha and Kshatram, Kshatriyas, cha also, Ubhe, both, Bhavataha are, Odanaha, cooked rice. Odanam in Sanskrit is rice, cooked rice, Odanaha, Mrityuhu, death, Yasya, to whom, Upasechanam, Upasechanam means pickles. Kaha, who, Ittha, thus, Veda, knows, Yatra, where, Saha, is. The exact translation of who the Brahmana and the Kshatriya classes are, as they are, as it were, but cooked rice and death itself a condiment, how can one thus know where the Atman is? Yama probably says, explanation is, Yama probably says, just like cooked rice, the Brahmana and the Kshatriya, and death being itself a pickle to eat those cooked food, how can one know where the Atma is? Simply by people like Brahmanas and Kshatriyas and having death, the knowledge, the Lord Yama with you as a condiment pickle to aid you to eat the rice, you cannot realize the Atma. Probably you have to eat the rice just by having them as it is with pickle, which is an aid, which gives you taste, an additional motivation to eat the cooked rice. You simply cannot unless you eat the cooked rice, unless you eat the rice with the help of a pickle, right? So that means simply by these presence here and there, you cannot realize the Atma. So you have to try, meditate. So this is the end of section 2, chapter 1, wherein Yama explains about the Atma, how old he is, how ancient he is, how deeply seated in the cavity, how difficult it is to see him. Just by study of Vedas or just by having knowledge, you cannot realize the Atma. You have to have a process by which you have to realize the Atma. He gives the most important word in Hindu philosophy, which is Om. Unless you have the process of meditation, Adhyatma Yoga, meditate on Om, have that meditation, Adhya, daily, Adhya means daily here, Adhya actually means today, daily meditation. You cannot realize the Atma just by saying you are having knowledge, You are getting angry even if you have knowledge. Your mind is not composed. Yourself are not composed. You say you have simply studied the Vedas. Just because Brahmins are there, Kshatriyas are there, pickle is there, just like, how can one you say that you have realized the Atma? Unless you eat the rice, you are not full. I can be of help to you like a condiment, like a pickle for eating the rice. So I can be a tool for you. I have taught you how to meditate. What is an important word, which is Om. So Yama gives these series of advices to young Nachiketa because he is the person who really wants to learn about this. He has given away, rejected all the material wealth. He wants only the good one, not the pleasant one. So Yama was happy. He tested the young boy. He found him to be fit. So he teaches in the process.